Geeks, Chris here, and the toy hunting is off to a great start in 2026. So I often don't look at Facebook Marketplace as a resource to find vintage or modern toys or comics really. Every now and then I do, but I don't quite often. And a friend sent me a link to a garage sale that was selling a whole bunch of stuff, and there was some photos, and I saw some Ninja Turtles, some real Ghostbusters, Kenner Superpowers. There were some bins with like things for a couple of bucks and $5. There was some Masters of the Universe vintage. There was some whole bunch of Star Wars and Star Trek, and there was some wrestlers, and there was also some boxed Kenner mask figures, which you very rarely see here in Australia. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of those. They must have gone pretty quick when I was there. So I spent the morning with Ryan from Ryan the Collector Kid. Definitely check out his video and subscribe if you haven't already. And we went down, and the place was called Treehouse of Treasures, and he's a fellow seller at the Nexus Toy Fair, which happens every 3 months here in Perth. And it was a great day of just rummaging and finding some stuff. They had some old Toy Fair magazines there as well. So yeah, it was just a great day to spend with Ryan, and chatted to people in the line as well. Ryan and I were the first people to arrive. So yeah, we got in there pretty early, had a bit of a rummage, and scored some absolute bargains. So let's have a look at some of the stuff I scored, including these rather vintage, rubbery, ugly, but somehow beautiful dinosaurs. Let's go. So I met Ryan at the train station, and then we travelled down together, and we were the first in line, so we had some time to kill, which was awesome. And he was kind enough to give me a good deal on this G.I. Joe figure, which we arranged before we met up. So definitely catch Ryan the Collector Kid and his one of his latest videos on a wonderful Nexus haul on some great stuff that he's got, including a whole bunch of G.I. Joes. So when I saw this in the video, I reached out to him, and he gave me a good deal on this. So this is from Series 8, 1989. This is a Targat, which stands for Trans-Atmospheric something or other. Basically, they're Cobra soldiers. I had this one as a kid. Not this particular one, obviously, but yes, he's in pretty good condition. So I'm not going to get a whole bunch of vintage G.I. Joes because they are on the pricier side. But yes, he's a pretty good find, so thank you, Ryan, for that. He comes with most of his accessories, including this rather hefty but well detailed backpack with the little wings that kind of fly out, so that's pretty cool. They always come with a ton of accessories, the vintage G.I. Joes, that's why they're hard to find complete. And a little gun as well, so he's just missing a little pipe that goes on the backpack, and also a little gold gun that clips onto his wrist. But yes, definitely nostalgic getting this awesome G.I. Joe Targat figure. So the day was already off to a good start. If, like me, you're a child of the 80s, these probably look very familiar to you. I've probably unlocked a core memory by showing you these. So these are from, I believe, a company called Imperial Toys, which I think was based in Hong Kong, and basically they would make cheaper kind of hard rubber dinosaurs and dragons and that kind of thing, like fantasy creatures. I had a couple of these as a kid, and also like a double-headed dragon kind of thing. So I saw these in the photos from the garage sale, and I thought those are the first things I'm going to look at. So I did see the can of superpowers, but they weren't complete, so I wasn't too fussed about looking at those. So I went right through the box that I thought had these on. So yeah, these are pretty awesome. So these are from Imperial Toys, just the vibrant colors, and they are quite a harder kind of plastic, and usually the mouth is a bit squishy. So very happy to get these. I think they were like $5 each, very cheap. So we've got that kind of dinosaur one, and also this kind of dinosaur slash dragony looking one. So yeah, they're pretty hard plastic. In fact, we'll give it the old test. Come in. So yes, not articulated or anything like that, just a very hard plastic with a couple of different colors on them, but nonetheless they kind of fitted in with all your fantasy, like Conan or Barbarian or Dungeons Dragons or He-Man kind of figures back in the 80s, and would get a rough time playing in the dirt and all that kind of stuff. So very happy to add these to my nostalgic fantasy shelf. Couple of green guys, but no, we're not talking about Hulk or Moss Man. We are talking about Peter Pan. So this is a Peter Pan figure, I think from 2012. Obviously this is the classic look based on the 1953 animated film, and he's only got 3 points of articulation, which is the waist and the arms. So not a whole bunch of accessories, but yes, so pretty cool. I do like the Peter Pan film, and classic Disney. Obviously he's going to have a nap now. This is from the Hook film. This is Mattel 1991. This is the Air Attack Peter Pan apparently, and this was the film starring Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts, and of course the legendary Robin Williams. So no accessories on any of these figures, bit of scuff marks on him, but that's okay. So yes, there we go, a couple of Peter Pan figures. Now I was quite surprised to see this. You do not see a lot of Mad Max figures because they didn't make a lot of Mad Max figures. I think there might be some Funkos or something, but surprisingly, of how many have we had? 4 or 5 Mad Max films of the last 40-50 years. So this is based on Mad Max 2, otherwise known as the Road Warrior. This is a 6-inch figure from N2 Toys, not a company I know a lot about. I think they also made the Matrix figures as well. But this figure here is from the year 2000, which is quite interesting because Mad Max 2 was released like in 1981, and I think there was 2 waves of these lines, but pretty detailed. 4 points of articulation on the legs, so I guess he can sit in the car, and the arms, and I think he came with like a shotgun or something. That's why it's got the kind of figure. But yes, head or waist don't move, but pretty detailed sculpt, and I just like the way they've kind of got the orangey brown kind of dust painted in the crevices there. It's a bit of weathering, but yeah, pretty cool. He's got a little knife in his boot as well, bit of grey, bit of a well weathered kind of Mel Gibson. So yeah, pretty happy to have a classic Australian film represented on my shelf, Mad Max. One of the fun things to do at any toy fair or a toy shop is to rummage through some bins and see what you can find. Sometimes just broken figures or accessories or vehicles or whatever, action figures with missing legs, but they had some good stuff in the tubs here. So this is a Fred Flintstone figure. This is from the Funko Mystery Mini line from 2017. I know Jada Toys are making some new Flintstones and Serial Mascot figures which look pretty awesome, but yes, this will go in my cartoon shelf. Bit of Hanna-Barbera cartoon history with the Flintstones, the longest running animated show I think in history until the Simpsons came along at least. So there's Fred looking pretty happy, and then we've got Asterix and Obelisk as well, based on the classic French comic, and they've had a bunch of cartoons and animated films and live action films over the last many decades. So yes, classic French cartoon. I guess that could kind of fit in with your Tintin and, you know, Smurfs, the kind of European kind of comics. So these couple of figures are made by Plaz Toy, I believe. Thank you, Google Lens, for helping me out with that. So we've got Asterix and the big fella Obelix, played by Gerard Depardieu, I think, in one of the live action films. And he's obviously in love, and he's got a bouquet of flowers there. So yeah, pretty cool, just pretty sturdy PVC figures. And this is from Batman Black and White, which is from DC Collectibles. So these came out a few years ago, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, in a set of 6. And this is based on classic Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, his very angular kind of style. So it definitely looks like his artwork, and just the way they've done the shading and the tone, a different kind of you know, look on the gloves there, a bit more shiny. So pretty cool. The folds on the cape, I just love these Batman Black and White figures. I've got a couple more, and my favourite is definitely one of the other ones from Norm Brayfogle. That's the other one I had. Bit of a mental blank. So yeah, found these in the I can't remember how much they were, but pretty happy to get a Batman, a Fred, and an Asterix, and an Obelix. Thanks to Ryan, the Collector Kid, for allowing me to hang out with him for a few hours in the morning, and we had a very successful start to 2026 with this wonderful rummaging through various bins and grabbing some great bargains. So definitely check out his video as well. He's got some extra footage and some great Star Trek and other pickups, so he did very well. And definitely give him and Treehouse of Treasures a follow on the socials as well. And of course, thanks again to Ryan for this little deal with the wonderful G.I. Joe Target figure. And yes, I got all of these goodies here for $35 from the garage sale. So pretty good, pretty happy with this wonderful eclectic vintage score. And these will look great on the shelf. So particularly very happy with the dinosaurs. So I'm very glad I managed to go there and grab them when I saw them. So thanks for watching all the way to the end. And I hope your 2026 is off to a good toy hunting start, just like ours is. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye, geeks.